Pat here from Chest Up Training Solutions, and I've got Benny here.
From Benny's Boxing, bennysboxing.com.au.
And we just finished some hill sprints. So hill sprints are a form of interval training, and we're just going to talk about what application you'd use them in, and basically how you'd set them up and use them within your own training. So when do you use them in your own training?
Hill sprints are good, particularly on your off days from sparring. It helps you get your heart rate up at that high intensity, and it simulates, where your heart rate is when you are sparring or you turn fighting.
Okay, so it puts you at that work rate where you would be when you're actually during a round.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, boxing is an anaerobic style sport, so sprints are also an anaerobic movement, and requires muscle movement to get your heart pumping and use the oxygen to give you energy.
Okay. So it's just a higher level of conditioning, something that you can use to kind of prepare and get that conditioning.
That's right, yeah.
Now, how would you set up your timing? How would you set up the length of rounds that you're going to use?
What we've done here in this video is we've mapped out a distance on the hills, and then we've timed ourselves running up, and then we did an active recovery time coming down. So in this particular video, the time up was around about 18 seconds, we set a benchmark, and then we came down, and the downtime was a little bit slower, it was about 30 seconds. So you can either keep repeating that for an interval of say 2 minutes or 3 minutes, or what we did in this instance is we did some anaerobic exercises like burpees.
So we tacked that on the end just to kind of get a little bit more time out of those rounds.
Exactly, and also keep it consistent with that anaerobic and explosive movement.
And if you're a beginner, you may not be able to last that 2 minutes or 3 minutes that a round will be. How would you scale that to match your fitness abilities?
I think you just start off slow. Just do what you can manage. Don't set the bench too high to start off with, and so you can just give yourself a little bit more rest. 20 rounds. It depends if you're training up for say a 2-minute amateur fight. You might want to keep it consistent with a 2-minute time frame. Professional, obviously, is usually 2 or even 3-minute rounds. Increase it to 3-minute rounds if you like. But if you're in there doing classes, try to keep it consistent with the intervals that you're doing with your classes, whether it's 60 second, 30 second. You can keep the time frame around about that. That time.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be for a boxing conditioning, does it? So anyone can kind of use this to get an edge on their
hill sprints. It's exactly. It doesn't have to be specifically boxing. It's any kind of explosive sport it's relevant to. Anything that's sort of anaerobic by nature. And also, it's just really good conditioning. You're going to strengthen up your legs, and obviously you get the blood pumping a little bit, heart pumping a bit faster. So it's a good all-round exercise, and it's a good little break up from just hitting the track and running 5,
a little bit more interesting.
It's a little bit more interesting. I think if you're continually running long distances, your body can adapt, and you start to plateau. So you need something to.
So it gives it a little spike.
It spikes it up a little bit, mixes things up.
Awesome. Alright, so we're going to cut to the video right now, and Benny can walk us through how he's going to set up his benchmark for his first sprint. Anyway, see you at the end.
So I'm just walking up towards these hills, going to set my benchmark. So what we're going to do is time my first sprint interval. And what's really important about this drill is that we keep our time consistent. We don't want to drop below that initial benchmark. If anything, we want to decrease time. Okay, so as you progress through, it gets a little bit harder. So you want to be able to maintain that consistent pace right through. So we're up here now. I would say the distance from this green fence here will probably be to that bench right up the top of where the green bin is. Approximately be anywhere between 80, maybe 100 metres. I'd like to keep each sprint under 30 seconds with 15-second rest, which will give me a bit of time to walk back and start the next one. All right, guys, let's see how we'll go. Yeah, so I've just finished my first interval. To get to the top of the hill took me approximately 18 seconds. So 18 seconds on the way up, And then what I did is just lightly jog back down, a little bit of active recovery. That took approximately 30 seconds. Now, if we want to increase the intensity, which I will do at the later stages, is when we get to the top of the hill, we're going to do some plyometric exercises, such as burpees, push-ups, jump squats. We have the luxury of having a bench up here. You may not have that where you're training, but I could also use that to do some jumps or some dips or even some push-ups. So on the 30 seconds that it took me to get back down here, the active recovery has given me a chance to lower my heart rate, at the same time remain active rather than just resting and being out of breath. It also allows oxygen to be pumped back into my blood and replenish all my vital organs. Just to increase the intensity of the hill sprints, I'm going to include some burpees with the knee tuck. So that'll also increase the duration of the intervals. As my time frame was roughly about 18 seconds, if I chuck in 3 or 4 burpees, we'll take it up to 30 seconds or so, which will keep consistent with my 30-second active recovery time. The burpee can be quite a difficult exercise, especially if you're just starting out or a beginner to this type of training. So we're just going to create a little bit of some other options that are perhaps a little bit easier. The first one we're going to go into now is just a standing squat. So here, keep your arms pressed against your chest. Try not to let your knees go in front of your toes. Now if you're finding that one easy, we can move into a jump squat. So down, touch the ground, jump up as high as you can, back down. There you go guys, just finished the hill sprints. The beauty of this type of workout is you don't need much equipment. As long as you've got a hill and a stopwatch, it's very easy to do. Just be mindful of time, and as you get better, try to decrease the time frame and increase the plyometrics towards the end. For further information, please check out bennysboxing.com.au. See you guys.